Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lynn Chef, and in today's video I will be sharing top 10 tips of how I am overcoming my depression with no psychotherapy help and no pills. And huge disclaimer right away, if you are now in the current state of really bad depression, please seek professional help. Do not listen to any random YouTuber who's sharing her tips right now in this video. And for those of you who are just burnt out and you're feeling down and like you feel like you are depressed and anxious, but you still can function, eat, sleep, take walks, and you still work, this video may be for you. Especially for my girlies, this is going to be like a big sister advice. Let's move on. Tip number 1, accept your failure. This is a big one. I'm gonna start with big guns. I'm a millennial woman. I'm 35 years old. I am childless. I am not married. I don't have tons of money. I unfortunately don't have a successful career because I just ended my lash career like around last year because I was completely burnt out after doing it for like almost 11 years. I don't have an apartment. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. And yes, I feel ashamed because I'm 35 and it feels like I failed my 20s deeply. But the sooner you accept your failure, that it happens to the best of us, the sooner your life is gonna start getting better. A year back from today, I was in the rock bottom. Like I was at my worst and I didn't know what to do. I was very sick because I used to live in the US and for the last few years I lived in South Florida. I miss my tropical climate because right now I live in Russia and it's cold. You know, it's winter. It's like negative 20 degrees Celsius. I'm going to put Fahrenheit somewhere on the screen. But the sooner you accept that, failure, and the sooner you move on from it and learn from your mistakes, the better life will get. And I was just kind of, beating myself up a lot last year. But one day I just had this realization, it just dawned on me, and I felt it with my entire being that no one is going to save you but yourself. And I cannot change my past, but I am in charge of changing my future for the better. And I realized that, I'm still young. Yes, I know it's not like the 22 years old when you're like young, dumb, and hyper enthusiastic. You've been burnt, like I've been burnt a lot, and I just have to accept the fact that, okay, I can change my reality now. I still have time, and I can still regroup. And this is what helped me shift my perspective and my mindset. I am in the active stage of healing yet right now, but I am in a such better place because I am slowly but surely accepting my past. It is tough, but it is possible, and the sooner you do so, the easier life will be going to get. Especially for those who, try to make it in a bigger, different city, and especially a different country like myself, with pretty much little to nothing that they had. It's gonna get easier, trust me. I know it sounds corny, I sound like Captain Obvious, but the sooner you accept your reality, the better life would get, and the sooner it will get better. It's super hard in the process, but trust me, it will get better. I mean, I can feel myself better from the inside, and I feel that my empty glass is finally getting full. Like I am actually recharging my resources. Number 2, take a pause. I know that in the world of all successful success, manifestation success coaches, blah, 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 whatever, it's kind of frowned upon in our culture for millennials, especially like myself, to constantly be hustling and grinding, making money. But let's be realistic. The world has been facing a terrible crisis, recession, wars, and all the other terrible nonsense going on. It's okay to pause, ground yourself, reconnect with nature, and give yourself a break. I decided that, it's okay to step back to where you come from, to regroup. Imagine yourself as a soldier on a battlefield, and you've been fighting the war for a long time, for all these years, and you got injured severely. What do soldiers do when they are like severely injured? They leave the battlefield, or nurse helps them leave the battlefield to the hospital. Like they rush to the hospital and they are receiving treatments to cure their wounds. And only after the wound is cured, they can actually go back to the battlefield and fight. So treat your pause, let's say you're living with your parents like myself, as a hospital for recovering your soul and, regrouping your resources and your energy. And it's okay. It was really rough for me to do so, but it was so necessary because I did feel like I am burnt out. Like if I keep pushing any further with a tiny bit of energy that I have left, I will just completely break apart and fall apart. So it was a really good decision for me, the greatest one, because I decided to take a pause and go back to my birthplace, which is a village like 200 kilometers from the city. The best decision I've ever made. It made my mind clearer. I took long walks near the river because, our village is beautiful. The birthplace that I come from is beautiful, and it made me appreciate it so much more as an adult compared to when I was a kid and I was just taking things for granted, not thinking twice, whatever. So take a pause, take a break, reconnect with nature, and take full advantage of whatever help your parents and your family can give you. That's a big one. Tip number 3. This one is controversial, so be very careful trying to use it. Use AI as your personal psychotherapist, but be mindful of what you share with it. Do not share any personal information like location and stuff. To help you vent out your craziest thoughts, ideas, and grievances. And AI, if you put a certain prompt, and let's say also add that, play a role as if you're like my friend / psychotherapist, the AI will help you to kind of regroup your thoughts, organize it. It will give you really helpful tips of how to overcome certain things, maybe self-doubt, whatever bothers you in the moment. But like I said, be very careful and mindful of using it. You don't have to use everything because AI is a machine. At the end of the day, it's not the human being, and you can't just put all of your thoughts out. It cannot read your mind. It cannot see your body language when you share something, but it definitely can help you, organize certain things and certain, parts of your mental chaos in your mind, and gives you certain tips of how to navigate through your healing journey. If you don't feel like using it, you can use big old diary. I also use that one. Also audio notes, whatever helps you vent out your thoughts and clear up your mind and be more present in the moment. Also meditations, whatever the method it is. And also another additional 3.1. I didn't know that I was actually using a Gestalt therapy method called, I think, the method of the empty chair. I'm going to write down the correct term on the screen. But this one is huge. Make sure you're alone in the room. Make sure you're alone in the room because it's going to be crazy. Let's say, imagine like you wanted to tell something to your parents, for instance, because we all have certain wounds that parents gave us without realizing it, because that generation had to operate from survival mode on daily basis. Or let's say you want to tell something to your friend, but you know that if you actually tell this thing to your actual friend, it's going to hurt them or your parent. What you can do is imagine that they're in the room with you. Maybe they're sitting, standing, I don't know, lying down, and you are venting out everything that you wanted to say. You can curse, you can cry, you can do whatever. Make sure you're alone. And at the end of it, imagine what they're saying and kind of talk back to them. That helps so much to decompress. And I really love that. When you talk to your actual parent, you feel like you are more in tune with yourself and you're less aggressive. So you can just vent out all of your aggression to your imaginary, whoever counterpart you want to talk to. But in the reality, you know that you would have ended up having a fight with them, hurting them, and whatever. So this method is also very helpful, especially if you do not feel like using AI. Moving on. Number 4, art therapy of any shape and form. Painting, drawing, music, dancing, writing stories. One of my recent discoveries of the last 2 years were Paint by Number, which I don't know why I didn't find in the US, but I did find in Russia. It's very popular. You can buy it in any marketplaces here. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. This one has a lot of details. I was honestly shook when I pulled it out and I saw a lot of things that you have to paint, but I love her. This is called The Dance of Tsarevna, Princess, and she's pretty. It only cost me $4, equals to $40 in the US, but I loved it. And this kind of therapy does help you be in the moment, be present, And it's just fun, you see. I love the result and I enjoy it. I mean, she brings joy to my eyes every now and then I look at her, and it definitely made me feel better, especially as a creative person, because as a creative person myself and growing up in a toxic environment of, post-USSR household, a lot of Russian kids and, the post-USSR kids can relate. My creativity had to be suppressed, and I couldn't really express myself too much because honestly, when I expressed my dream to my parents, to my mom, that at the age of 14 I wanted to be a pop star like Britney Spears, she shamed me so much for it. She made me embarrassed, and this is what first broke me, and I feel like this is why I was lost. So this is my way of reclaiming that power. Also, singing even in the shower, singing in the room. You don't have to record yourself. And I'm just, learning how to accept my creativity again, revive it, and it makes me feel alive. Art therapy of any shape and form is so helpful. Take full advantage of it, even if you are not the greatest artist, or let's say you like the sculpture, maybe like the modeling clay, anything works. Proven fact, does wonders, go for it. Number 5. If you love listening to the music, as many of us do, try to switch your music playlist to something more positive, playful, and light. For instance, I love K-pop, and K-pop did help me get through the shittiest times. But at some point, I felt like it's like the same old thing going over and over. And when I felt like I'm actually ready to shift my mindset for more positive life and to move forward, I decided to pick and choose lo-fi hip-hop beats, something chill, something relaxing. Instrumental music helps you a lot, especially when your brain is overwhelmed and it needs a break from all the words and lyrics, even if you don't understand them. And I also found these cool playlists on YouTube and also RussianTube about manifestation. They're all like R&B arranged, and also like positive morning affirmations and stuff. It may sound silly, but it helps your subconscious to kind of clear the path for something better and more positive. It helps your endorphin boost, and music is everything to me. Music helps you heal. For those people who follow me for K-pop content, they did follow me for my like Stray Kids concert videos. They know it, but for now I am deciding to put my favorite K-pop songs and artists on pause. I still listen to them once every while, but not on a daily basis like I used to, because I'm shifting my mindset for something even lighter and positive and help my brain to kind of unload that pressure. And switching to lighter music, brighter music helps a lot. Number 6 sounds super corny, but be grateful and stay in the present moment and be happy for what you have. I know it's super boring to say, but I've been struggling with it for my whole life. I've been a huge and avid daydreamer ever since I was like 14-15 years old, dissociating from the harsh reality. But the sooner you accept your reality and stay present in the moment and be grateful for what you have, the better your life will get, and the stronger you will become as a person to fight and face difficulties and difficult circumstances in the reality. I am grateful that I have a bright, peaceful sky above my head. Yes, I now live in a very harsh climate of winter, like in Russia, but I'm also trying to be grateful that I live in a nice, cute village. I can take walks. I enjoy the snow, even though I don't, but I'm still trying. And I live at my parents' place. I don't have to pay rent. I work a remote job, which helps me save up a lot of money, time, and energy on commute back and forth, to the city and whatever. It's not a huge payment, but at least I'm making some money compared to making no money when I was taking a pause and struggling. So I'm just grateful and learning to be grateful for the little things that I have, and knowing deep inside that I will have something bigger in the future, and I'm slowly but surely working towards it to make my life better. Because right now, like I said, I am recovering and I'm taking full advantage of this opportunity right now, because this is all temporary. This is not going to last forever. No one's life lasts forever unless you're Graf Dracula, and I don't think I would trade places with him. Anyways, next. Number 7. For my hyper independent girlies, accept help from your parents. I kind of felt numbed and paralyzed because I'd lived abroad for so long and I had to struggle and survive on my own, only relying solely on myself, that accepting help, that little money and food from my parents felt obviously so fucking weird, because I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm like 35 right now, and your parents will still treat you like a baby because you will be the baby for them for your entire life, which is a toxic trait from a child's perspective to a parent. But if you have someone who can help you even a little bit, take full-blown advantage of it and try to unlearn being super hyper independent. Yes, I know that thing helped you, and it's been helping me to get through shittiest days on my own, but it also made me develop so many trust issues that I am now trying to relearn how to trust people, even though, yes, like, we are kind of on different paths with my parents, because I lived in one country, they lived in the other, and I feel like a stranger in my own homeland. But accepting help makes you feel less pressure to always fight and struggle on your own. Number 8, set yourself a goal. Even though you are recovering right now, I am recovering, you should set yourself a goal which will help you move towards it, and it will give you a sense of belonging in life. I'm guilty of it, because at some point when I was like doing really decently good before pandemic with my lash business, at some point all of this life became kind of a loop, and I lost myself because I lost a sense of purpose, and this what ruined me the first time in New York. And from that lesson, from that moment, I learned that once I have a goal, no matter how shitty days can get, when I keep that goal in mind, like the light at the end of my tunnel, I can still move on, even crawl towards the goal. Like, any effort counts when you have a goal and you put at least a tiny bit of effort towards it. I mean, don't kill yourself in the process. That's also something that I'm still learning. But setting yourself a certain goal, for instance, my goal of this year is to get a better online job and be able to leave my country and travel and go to a better place with a better climate, because I really want to travel to Southeast Asia. I want to finally see those countries with my own eyes. It definitely helps to get through those really bad days when you feel down, you don't feel disciplined, but you just feel like lying in bed and do nothing. Like, for instance, I'm recording this video right now. I'm actually a little bit sick. I'm on a sick leave, but I know that this video, if it finds people that will find it helpful, it keeps me motivated and disciplined. Any effort counts. Number 9, also super corny, but nobody can save you but yourself. No Prince Charming, no fairy godmother, no one. Unfortunately, as women, especially, post-USSR generation women, and also, American women across the globe can relate to that, we have been conditioned by patriarchy so much that you have to expect for a Prince Charming to save the day. A young, hot, rich guy, whatever, to save you from yourself, your own problems, blah, blah. No. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, and you're the only one responsible for your own life and happiness, and you're the only one who can save yourself. The sooner you get to realize this with your entire essence and being, the sooner you will be able to get yourself out of this rock bottom that you're in right now. Like myself, like I said, once I realized it, I was able to get myself together, and I'm pushing through. It is difficult, I have to admit, but it definitely shifted my perspective, and I am now feeling a lot more whole rather than I used to when I was expecting someone else from the outside world to help me. Your parents may help you only so much, but non-existent Prince Charming, leave it to the childhood fairy tales. By the way, I really hate those fucking fairy tales from the Disney, whatever. I think they should be fucking burned. Girls should not grow up reading these freaking fairy tales about Prince Charming. You are your own dragon, you are your own Prince Charming. Just remember this. Number 10, last but not least. If you don't have an opportunity to pay for courses, like I said above, learn from as many free resources online as you can. Anything, cooking, cleaning, maybe new skill. Like myself, I'm learning this new skill and trying to develop it from as many free resources as I can, because right now I'm broke, I'm on a budget, and most of my money goes towards my groceries. But when you try to discipline yourself and learn from as many free resources as you can, it will still give you the sense of control and sense of purpose. And once you can afford it, you can buy the course that you wanted to and learn from it. And you can also take that class for dancing and whatever. And even if it's hard, even if you can only save, like, let's say $10, even that counts. Try to save up as much money as you can in your current situation. Like, even 1 penny counts. I know it's not a lot, but this little trick helps your brain to regain control and feel like you're actually doing something. Okay, it's been a tough video. It's been a little bit messy, and thank you for sticking around till the end of it, whoever did. And I hope to see you in my next one. And I hope at least some of these tips were helpful, and see you in my next one. Bye, guys.